Hello everyone, my name is Clantis and welcome to the clan. So without further ado, let's get into this video. But before we get into the video, please smash me the like button, guys. We do get there, sometimes we slip, sometimes we get there. But anyways, as long as you guys are clicking the like button, I am eternally grateful to each and every one of you. But other than that, guys, I've been getting a lot of messages on DMs, emails, everywhere. You are basically alerting me that there is a petition that has been prepared to get the judge either to toe the line and become a presiding judge that he's supposed to be, or recuse himself or be recused by the appropriate body, which is the JSC. So I saw, of course, I did do my due diligence and went down the rabbit hole and I looked for the petition because nobody was providing me with the links. Actually, one person did provide me with the link, but I also had to do my own research just to make sure that indeed it is the petition that everybody is talking about. And I must say that I am in support of this petition. I did look at it. It is brilliant. However, though, there are some few things that I also had to look at to support this petition so that it is solid, and when whoever the powers that be, they get handle of it, then they are able to say or see indeed that there's evidence that shows that there's impartiality when it comes to Judge Arata in the Senzo Mewa murder trial. Of course, we all feel like he is unfair, he is biased, and definitely presiding over an unfair trial. So it's either he toes the line, which I think at this point is too late for him to toe the line because of all the damages thus far that has been caused, putting the judiciary in disrepute. This is as far as I can see that the judiciary or the JSC or even the Constitutional Court, if it is the Constitutional Court that is going to recuse them at the end of the day, I do not know how that process works. However, though, because me, I'm a person who believes in the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Yes, where it works. Where it works. Where it doesn't work for the citizens of South Africa, I feel like there is an appeal. What's the word? There are some that needs to be repealed, like Section 11 of the Constitution, which says everybody has a right to life, and yet a murderer can murder as many people as they want and still use Section 11 of the Constitution when it's their turn to do what they've been doing to others, and they are protected by the Constitution. As you already know, that the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa is the supreme law of the land. South Africa is a constitutional democracy, which this means that the Constitution of the Republic is the highest law of the land. You can't dispute it. You can't appeal it. Once it makes a decision, that is it. There's nowhere else you can go to. You can't go to the Supreme Court of Appeal because the Supreme Court of Appeal is under the Constitutional Court, which the Constitutional Court is the supreme guardian of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. The custodian is the president, and the people that are in charge that can even remove the sitting president is the 11 Constitutional Court judges that sit at the Constitutional Court at the Constitution Hill. It's not Constitutional Hill, people. It's Constitution Hill. By Hillbrow. I know, I knew I was going to get shaded somewhere. But other than that, guys, I will give you, in fact, the petition is in the link down below. Please go click on it, go sign it, do whatever that needs to be done. However, though, I want to say some few little things about the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, because I feel that this petition is everything that the Constitution of the Republic is saying. And I want to focus on Section 34, I want to focus on Section 9, Section 34, and Section 35 of the Constitution, let's start with Section 9 of the Constitution so that we can understand that, so that those, especially the 30% that are like, why you want a man to be out of a job, why he ought to know that, or at least being a judge for the past 20 years, including the Senzo Mewa murder trial, makes it 21 years, I suppose, he ought to know these things. So we'll go to Chapter 2, also known as the Bill of Rights, and we'll go to Section 9 of the Constitution, where it says equality. So this is the equality clause, but I'm only interested in Section 1 of subsection 1 of Section 9, which says everyone is equal before the law and has the right to equal protection and benefit of the law. everybody. So there is no way that you have 5 men that stand accused of killing Senzo Meiwa and they are an exception to the rule. Hell no ways. We are not going to allow that. Then let's go to section 34, which is kind of like a build up to section 35 and the fundamental things that it says. So basically, I'm on section 34 of the Constitution, which says access to courts. 34 is just 34 on its own. It says everyone has the right to have any dispute that can be resolved by the application of law decided in a fair public hearing before a court or, where appropriate, another independent and impartial tribunal or forum. So here we are, we're having the 5 men that stand accused of killing Senzo Meiwa, and we have a judge that we believe is an unfair judge. For me, the unfairness showed itself when Zungu was supposed to have gone to KwaZulu-Natal and brought us the written statement that he has written, but okay, apparently he went to KwaZulu-Natal, came back from KwaZulu-Natal. On the Monday, Judge Rata already had a judgment. How did he know that Zungu did not find those things? Because he was supposed to hear a hearing from the state, how they went to KwaZulu-Natal. Maybe the house got burnt or whatever the case might be, or somebody cleaned his closet and throw away all pieces of paper that they thought was rubbish. And then the judge makes a decision at the end of the day. But no, the judge came prepared with a judgment. And then when I was like, this is an unfair trial. This man is biased. He's definitely working with the state. And ever since then, this section 34 is definitely violated. However, the most important section after section 9 of the Constitution is section 35. And I would like to read this one, if you don't mind. It's in entirety. I know this is not something that 30%ers like because they did run away from it to begin with, education. But other than that, let's go to section 35, subsection 1. But the heading is arrested, detained, and accused persons. Subsection 1 says of section 35, everyone who is arrested for allegedly committing an offense has the right A, to remain silent, B, to be informed promptly, Roman figure 1 of the right to remain silent, Roman figure 2 of the consequences of not remaining silent, C, not to be compelled to make any confession or admission that could be used in evidence against that person. D, to be brought before a court as soon as reasonably possible, but not later than Roman figure 1, 48 hours after the arrest, or Roman figure 2, the end of the first court day after the expiry of the 48 hours, if the 48 hours expires outside ordinary court hours or on a day which is not an ordinary court day. E, at the first court appearance after being arrested, to be charged or to be informed of the reason for the detention to continue, or to be released, F, to be released from detention if the interest of justice permits, subject to reasonable conditions. Subsection 2, everyone who is detained, including every sentenced prisoner, has the right A, to be informed promptly of the reason for being detained, B, to choose and to consult with a legal practitioner and to be informed of his rights promptly. C, to have a legal practitioner assigned to the detained person by the state and at state expense if substantial injustice would otherwise result, and to be informed of this right promptly. D, to challenge the lawlessness of the detention in person before a court, and if the detention is unlawful, to be released. E, to condition of detention that are consistent with human dignity, including at least exercise and the provision at state expense of adequate accommodation, nutrition, reading material, and medical treatment. And F, to communicate with and be visited by that person's spouse. Roman figure 1, spouse or partner. Roman figure 2, next of kin. Roman figure 3, chosen religious counselor. And Roman figure 4, chosen medical practitioner. 3, every accused person has a right to a fair trial, which includes the right A, to be informed of the charge with sufficient detail to answer it, B, to have adequate time and facilities to prepare a defense, C, to a public trial before an ordinary court, D, to have their trial begin and conclude without unreasonable delays, E, to be present when being tried, F, to choose and be represented by a legal practitioner and to be informed of this right promptly. G, to have a legal practitioner assigned to the accused person by the state and at the state expense if substantial injustice would otherwise result, and to be informed of his right promptly. H, to be presumed innocent, to remain silent and not to testify during proceedings. I, to adduce and challenge evidence. J, not to be compelled to give self-incriminating evidence. K, to be tried in a language that accused person understands, or if that is not practicable, to have the proceedings interpreted in that language. L, not be convicted for an act or omission that was not an offense under either national or international law at the time it was committed or omitted. M, not to be tried for an offense in respect of an act of omission for which that person has previously been either acquitted or convicted. And to benefit of the least severe of the prescribed punishment if the prescribed punishment for the offense has been changed between the time that the offense was committed and the time of sentencing. And O, of appeal to or review by O of appeal to or review by a higher court. 4, whenever this section requires information to be given to a person, that information must be given in a language that the person understands. 5, which is the final subsection, evidence detained in manner that violates any right in the Bill of Rights must be excluded if the admission of that evidence would render the trial unfair or otherwise be detrimental to the administration of justice. Thus far, in section 35 of this constitution, Judge Rata seems to just overlook the provisions of this constitution. And yet our constitutional democracy was founded on 3 principles: human dignity, the achievement of equality, and the advancement of human rights and freedom. The 5 men that stand accused of killing Senzo Meyo, I understand accused number 5, accused number 4, and accused number 3. They are even now accused number 1 in December 12th, when he was found guilty for planted evidence, I still believe. They're, of course, not free because they were found guilty of committing some heinous crimes. Accused number 2, which is Bongani Ntanzi, who is supposed to be a free man, and yet his constitutional rights to liberty are being violated by a judge who can see with his 50 years of experience that he is presiding over a cooked case. But no, he is not going to stop this nonsense, save taxpayers from wasteful expenditure. Honestly speaking. So, of course, I further checked other things where I came across what is the constitutional democratic values. A constitutional democracy includes among its highest purposes the protection of freedom of conscience and freedom of expression. There are some people who are trying their level best to shut us up simply because, I don't know, somewhere in their minds they think we live in a dictatorship. This is a constitutional democracy. People like myself are allowed, in fact, have the right according to section 16 of the Constitution, which is freedom of expression. There are some subsections down there. Check them out. One of which is media and other media. Us, the YouTubers, we fall part of other media. Maybe even media on its own as well. So I don't get it when you say, you guys, you don't expect this and expect that. Judges this and judges that. You are TikTok, YouTube lawyers. That's because we have the right to express ourselves with what we are observing going on in that courtroom. So because you're 30%, that is a little bit difficult for you to understand. But you know what? We need people like y'all so that this country can be fixed with your ignorance. So coming to the petition, I also saw some few other things as well that I feel we should not make the mistake of just posting the petition online, but when it's submitted to the wrong hands. It's important that we also understand that what will make the JSC to sit and listen or read the complaint. This is what what I found. You can also before that. Oh yeah, it says, what can you do if a judge is unfair in South Africa? And the text says, complaints against judges. Any member of the public may file a complaint against a judge for misconduct. We believe that what Judge Rata is doing is misconduct, possibly even gross misconduct. The complaint must be in the form of a sworn statement. I believe that the petition is a sworn statement because we are all going to sign our names on it. Or affidavit. I think it may also be interpreted as an affidavit as well, setting out all the facts relating to the matter. So this is where now we need to make sure that this particular petition has all the facts as to why he should be recused, or he should just be a judge, or he should be removed altogether as a judge, or even impeached as a judge. It says setting out all facts relating to the matter. So I wish that the petition also had a section where we can make some comments and then we can write other stuff that are factual as to why this petition needs to be considered by the JSC and must be submitted to the JSC. Must. So that means once we are all done signing the petition, the author or people that are responsible for this particular petition needs to now take it with our signatures and then submit it to the JSC. That is the Judicial Service Commission. That's the correct place. Alternatively, I think it says, how do I report a judge in South Africa? You could also visit the office for an interview or consultation if you prefer. It is better to write and ask for an interview in the letter. A complaint must be reported to the office of the Chief Justice within 2 years from the occurrence of the incident concerned. So all the visitation and consultation is with the Chief Justice's office. I think they'll designate some people before you can actually now have access to the Chief Justice with this complaint. And lastly, it says, what is Section 177 of the Constitution says? The Constitution governs the removal of a judge. A judge may be removed on grounds which includes incapacity while he's capable, because I see his brain is pretty sharp. I'm talking about Judge Rata. Gross incompetence. Are we witnessing a gross incompetence, or we are witnessing gross misconduct here? That is going to be something that we have to state in the facts of why we are complaining about this particular judge, or gross misconduct. I think it's gross misconduct. So of course, gross misconduct includes everything that I've said, Section 9, Section 34, and Section 35 of the Constitution. Notwithstanding the fact that human dignity is also being violated, the advancement of equality is also being violated, as well as the advancement of human rights and freedom, especially when it comes to Ntanzi, who clearly did not commit this crime that he is being accused of. I was looking at the picture that Judge Rata was asking regarding Ntanzi being in a bank. I didn't see any dreads. Or maybe, I don't know, they will see dreads and they'll tell us, but I see dreads. We don't know. We'll see how it all goes. So I thought, let me just create this video just to let you know, guys, that I do support the petition, and definitely I'm going to sign it, and I'm going to leave a link of the petition down in the description box for you to click and also sign your name. Please read it and understand it. And if you want to make any additions, I hope there are additions that you can make regarding facts as to why this petition needs to stand and be considered by the Judicial Commission, by the Judicial Service Commission, which is the JSC. I think that it's led by the Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court. Other than that, guys, if you like this video, give it a like. If you didn't like the video, give it a like. Anyways, do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody that's supporting this channel financially by giving super thanks. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know, are you signing this petition? What do you think of the petition? If you've already seen it, have you signed it? If you have not signed it, then probably you are the problem as to why South Africa is going south instead of being a progressive country that is successful. Why? Because the people of this country believes in morality, upstanding society, as well as a society that has a rule of law where everybody equally follows the law and treated equally under the very same law and benefit from the same law. Please share this video far and wide, and I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.